simultaneously, reading, listening, and speaking. The three-action activity presents the brain with a challenging workload that automatically stops the ingrained habit of thinking in the native language and cross-translating information to the native language. Now I would request Dr. Eddie Zilberman to start his presentation. Yes, sir, please start your presentation.
Thank you very much. To start, I need to share my screen. Let me share my screen. I hope you see my screen, and I will start my presentation. I want to share with you a prototype of an AI web application tutor, acronym AIWAT, that allows adults to be fluent in any foreign language in less than a year. It became possible due to a synergy of three inventions. One, AI-based personalized lessons created by learners. Two, the patented conscious training. The self-learning paradigm started with the buzzword, "Don't me, guide me in my self-learning." You see those three pillars, the main three inventions are shown in this first slide. On this slide, I want to remind you of the difference between conscious and subconscious. Conscious learning, traditionally teaching methods use the conscious learning, and it has the following deficiencies. It has a brain forgetting curves, cross-translation problems, and inability to think in the target language. It always uses teacher-driven instruction. The other system, subconscious self-learning, has no forgetting and no cross-translation problems. Automatic communication due to super-fast recall of subconscious part of the driven opportunity with self-activation. You probably have heard before that our mind has two systems. Conscious, a very slow system, and subconscious has a super fast processing speed. So why we still use conscious learning memorization if we can use much faster part of our mind, subconscious training. And how to do it, I demonstrate today. We use in this system, we told before about three dimensions, and the third one is a self-learning paradigm. The self-learning revolution was started by Dr. Jeanette Was, and is present in this presentation. Her probably tell us if it's about her first book, which is called The Learning Revolution, which was sold 10 copies globally. Learning is active process. It started because it was observed that transfer knowledge from teacher to student is a passive process and is very inefficient. Learners develop fluency and the ability to think in the target language, and they use self-direction and personalization, which ensure motivation and success. Now, I'll show you how personal lessons are created. Here, you probably all know what is AI and its capability to create personalized lessons. I understand that you are interested not only in learning English, but in artificial intelligence as a separate topic. And I would just mention now that there are two types of personalized lessons. One, which is created by artificial intelligence, and one which is created by learners using artificial intelligence. Those two personalized lessons are has completely different mechanisms. I do not like personalized lessons which are created by artificial intelligence because they always are given as instruction. Instruction always require you to memorize it as information. It wouldn't work because we know the best property which our memory has is forget everything. You probably heard about Ed House, the actually discovered it 140 years ago, that we forget everything in the first hour, and in 2 hours we get 70% of information which was given to us. So those personalized lessons are ineffective. Oh, you may read hundreds of articles about how great ChatGPT and artificial intelligence is by providing personalized lessons. In our case, we learners or teachers create personalized lessons. Here on the slide, you see an example. The query used for a beginner level learner, then translate the story into English. AIWAT opens personalized lesson with the read aloud function and controlled speech rate. I'm not sure if everybody is familiar with the read aloud function, but strangely enough, it is available to anybody who uses Microsoft Office 365. And on the bottom of the screen, you see the sign of the read aloud function. It has this button star, and it has this button which allows you to check the speed of the audio file. So, and here is an example of a lesson created. That is personalized lessons which we recommend, which allow you to use this unique application for learning any language. In this case, Spanish, the English, French, German, any language. I want to stress here one thing. You think that Duolingo, everybody knows Duolingo, has 500 million customers worldwide, has 50 languages which you can learn with it. But there's no comparison. AIWAT is the first unique program in the world because it differs dramatically, principally with Duolingo. When Duolingo offers 50 languages to learn, each time it uses a different program, which was specifically designed for that language. In this when you use AIWAT, you use the same program for learning any language. And that's why it is first in the world program, which allows to use any foreign language using the same framework. When you have created your personalized lesson, you have to apply 6 drills, personalized lessons. Now I'll explain it to you and will demonstrate it at the end of the PowerPoint presentation. I will take one lesson and demonstrate it to you. So the first drill, listen to the recording in native language with your eyes closed. It's interesting. Why do you close your eyes? I want to explain. When we now look at you, I am very glad to see so many people in this room. And about 60% of my brain are to see, because seeing environment is a very complex process in the brain. It uses a lot of power. When I close my eyes, I feel a lot of brain power, and it is used for visualization. So in first skill, you listen to the recording in the native language with your eyes closed and visual the story which would be given in a personalized lesson. Here is one disclaimer. This drill is used mostly for beginners. It is not necessary to use it, and my recommendation is not to use it if you can. That means if you are in higher D&D and you can read and understand, you have some vocabulary, you don't need to start with this drill. You can start with the second drill. Listen to the coding in the target language, say in English, and follow the text without pronouncing words. So you prepare yourself, you prepare your mind, and you just listen to the recording and follow the text without pronouncing words. The third drill, highlight the whole sentence with the unknown word and translate it into native language. When you do translation, you translate the whole sentence, you understand that this is so-called contextual translation. It will be accurate, and every word in this sentence will be translated with only one meaning, according to the context translation. Most programs use translation, different translation programs and translate set words. It's not effective because you will get 10, 20 words and you can't remember it. So it's useless. That's why you translate, and do not try to remember translation into your native language. You just visualize the translation and they continue to work in English. Now, I want to also stress, you may see different articles saying that artificial intelligence allows you to learn any foreign language very efficiently, quickly, and so on and so forth. Don't I believe in those articles, those recommendations on the following reason. Artificial intelligence does not allow you to control audio files. It does not allow you to apply those skills which are foundation of this conscious training, and therefore they those statements are actually not accurate. To learn the help, and I do use AI, but not all AI, we need more drills. Drill 4, read the text, listen to the reading software, and speak simultaneously. This is so-called simultaneous repetition. This is the most important drill. This is the foundation of conscious. I will explain again here the difference between conscious and subconscious. If you perform only 2 actions, for example, reading and listening, that is conscious learning. It's memorization. When you perform 3 actions, reading, listening, and speaking, you automatically activate your conscious part because our brain is designed not for multitasking. If you start doing multitasking, then it automatically activates the subconscious part of the mind, which is much more powerful than our conscious mind. And this fourth drill is most important. Use subconscious training. Drill number 5. Click the record button and read aloud the text without listening to reader. When you record this text, you can listen to it, and if you like the recording, you can share it with your friend or teacher if you use guided self-training. Number 6, develop fluency and measure it quantitatively by flow speech fluency testing. I will explain it in a minute, probably quite a new concept for you. Definitely know what is fluency. I would like to mention here that fluency is the most important characteristic of your ability to speak fluently or to communicate automatically fluently. And by the way, if somebody will tell you that no, it's not that most important. Most important is grammar or pronunciation or whatever. There are many different points of views. My point of view, by the way, there was a special, you may find a link on my website to a study by Purdue University. In that study, they determined that fluency is the most important characteristics, not grammar, not pronunciation, not vocabulary, determine how intelligible your communication is. Those are signals which you should apply to each lesson which you created, and then of multiple simultaneous repetitions, your subconscious mind will develop intuitive grammar, which acts like a feed what is right and what is wrong. Here on the right, you see an example of AIWAT used for French. And here the create a story with 500 words in French based on the famous novel La Petite Prince for AI beginner. Provide an exact translation of the story into English. Apply 6 drills to the personalized lesson in French described on previous slides. A learner may take unlimited personalized lessons in French and, where needed, use support in the native language. Here, I'd like to explain you what is flow speech fluency testing. It's a patented feature. I patented it many years ago, and I can share this program with you. How it works. It shows on the display any word from a dictionary of 3,000 most widely used English. And each time different word is on the screen. What you have to do, click this button, record, and say a few sentences ignited by the word breakfast. And you will show, you do not translate, you don't explain what breakfast means. You just share your experience ignited by this word. For example, I had a very light breakfast today because I read recently that the breakfast should be very light. You do not use any carbohydrates in breakfast, and then you will have energy for the whole day. And so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you say is correct as long as you start with the word breakfast and create situations with this word. Then click on this button, the next word will appear on the and the next word, and so on and so forth. More than that, you can use the vocabulary of 3,000 words at the beginning of fluency testing, or you can use words selected random from the lesson which you created, from personalized lesson. Close fluency testing measures speech rate word per minute. And fluency speech fluency testing score in implicit characteristics of the ability to speak automatically. You should at beginners produce only about 30, 40 words per minute. And it's very difficult because they think in their native language, they construct a sentence in their native language and translate it to English and try to produce that sentence. It wouldn't work in this way for natural communication because natural communication requires much higher speed of producing speech. So, a new definition. Language learning occurs when known symbols of language of thoughts are wired directly to new words of a target language. What is? I don't know if you are aware that most teachers, students, and even educators give a wrong answer on the question, in which language do you think? If I ask you, you do not have time to ask everybody and listen to the answers, but most probably you say that you speak in the language in which you are talking. It may be English or your native language or any other language in which you are fluent. And the answer would be not accurate. We all speak in one language of thought, irrespective of how many languages we know and speak fluently. That language of thought is used in our dreams. That is when you use a pure language of thought. There are no words. And if you try to pronounce something in a dream, then to verbalize a word in a dream, you are usually wake up because we think in language of thought. So our new task is to connect language of thoughts, which are symbols, feelings, to the unknown words in the new language. And that wiring must be done directly. Unfortunately, in all conscious learning methods, this connection is done through cross-translation. And that is a very stressful and slow process. That's why it's so difficult to acquire fluency, and that's why so many students fail. Fluency determines intelligibility and the ability to speak automatically. Very high fluency scores are required to pass English proficiency test. You must produce more than 150 words per minute. It means that you have to produce 2 or 3 words per minute. And only when you use subconscious training, you form so-called speech center in your brain, and you are capable to do it automatically. You are not thinking, you are not recalling words, you are using chunks of languages which your subconscious has recorded during those simultaneous repetitions of your personalized lessons. Fluency is independent of pronunciation, grammar knowledge, or vocabulary, and is best acquired through subconscious training. Now I would like to say a few words about corrective feedback. Unfortunately, 99% of teachers believe that their main objective in teaching English is to provide corrective feedback. I say unfortunately, and I will explain why. Because corrective feedback, it was shown, by the way, by many studies, is ineffective on the following ground. Corrective feedback assumes that learners can forget errors and remember correct pronunciation. And it's not possible. You cannot remember anything. And that's why many teachers observe this fact, that they correct this same error many times and students still repeat it, because corrective feedback automatically requires and activates conscious learning or memorization. And the word memorization should always activate a sentence. I cannot remember anything. Do you remember what you saw in a movie a month ago? What you read a book a month ago? No, memory has a different purpose, not to remember all information which is incoming, and that's why corrective feedback should be avoided, since it activates conscious learning. Implicit feedback, by measuring the fluency score or fluency rate, is highly motivating and is better than corrective feedback. Because if students use simultaneous repetition and they measure their fluency speed is growing very fast. And after a few weeks, you see that fluency increased by quite a great number. You then are motivated to use this method more and more. So those are the new definitions. And now I would like to mention that AIWAT could be also used for research. So you do not only learn English with this program, but you do research, which is again very helpful. For example, What are the benefits of subconscious training in English skills? You can ask your AI tool, and in our prototype, you have such an option. And the answer is subconscious training can help learners acquire language skills more naturally, like how they learn their first language as children. Another query. What is the average speech rate of those who pass English proficiency tests? A general guideline for fluent speech in English is around 125, 150 words per minute. What is the difference between formal and intuitive grammar? You may ask this question, and your artificial intelligence tool will tell you. Intuitive grammar is used by native speakers subconsciously. It's used as a feeling what is right and what is wrong. They do not recall grammar rules. They do not recall pronunciation rules. They speak subconsciously. And that's, again, the place where I should remind that there are two different processes. We always confuse them. Thinking is conscious process, but speaking is not. I mean, natural speaking is not. And if you try to speak in a foreign language and you want to become fluent, it should be trained subconsciously so that you would not recall it from memory, because recall process is extremely slow. You can recall, it was measured, by the way, and the recall time for one word is more than half a second. But you have to produce more than two, preferably 3 words per second. So a recall wouldn't work. That's why conscious learning does work. Conclusion. AIWAT is the first application for acquiring any foreign language using AI, subconscious training, and guided self-learning. I offer comprehensive technical specifications and free technical support to any company interested in creating a commercial product based on the ideas presented here. Because the prototype, which I have demonstrated to you, and I will now demonstrate it on one personalized lesson, is a manually step-by-step instruction. It could be turned into a commercial product, and maybe after learning it more and knowing more about it, your university may decide to do it, because it doesn't require a lot of investments, because technical specification is already created. Additionally, I am offering free licensing to my 2 patents on subconscious training for English language skills. And that's at the end of this presentation. At the end, the last note. You may think that everything what I have told you here is, of course, it is my creation, my development. I worked on it for many, many years. But if you believe and understand how powerful artificial intelligence is, I would like to show you one thing. I have asked here, what are the benefits of subconscious training in English skills using AIWAT? I asked this question using Copilot Microsoft Artificial Intelligence. So it's not me what is saying here. And I was really surprised by this information. It is 95% accurate. It is created by artificial intelligence, which means that artificial intelligence already is aware of AIWAT and all its teachers. For example, let's read a little. Subconscious training in English skills using AIWAT offers several benefits for language learners. 1. Customized lessons. AIWAT uses AI to create personalized lessons that combine subconscious training with guided self-learning. What is interesting that it finds a link and gives you a link. Here is the link. I can click it and read this link. It's the whole article. You see? So it's not only given the correct text, correct advice, correct conclusion, it also gives you a correct link. And all those 6 links are created by artificial intelligence, not by me, but all 6 links belong to my publications. 2, speed of learning. Subconscious training can be 5-7 times faster than traditional conscious learning or memorization methods. Again, it is based on this link. Pattern recognition. It helps the subconscious mind recognize patterns and form neural connections, enabling learners to speak English correctly and meaningfully at high speeds. 4, simultaneous skill development. The approach allows learners to simultaneously develop all English skills: reading, listening, speaking, and pronunciation. Elimination of cross-translation. The method eliminates the habit of cross-translation, where learners translate from their native language to English, allowing them to start thinking directly in English. 6, fluency. The technique is designed to help adult ESL learners achieve fluency in less than a year by developing a new habit of performing reading, listening, and speaking simultaneously. And again, more details you will find on this link, on this in this article. And so on and so forth. So what is here important is that it is not what I have written. It is all written about artificial intelligence, but you have to be very specific in artificial intelligence when the question is correctly written, gives a very accurate answer. That is the end of my presentation. And now I would stop sharing the screen. And here before, Dr. Sadia, can I give the word to Dr. Jeanette Wass, and then you will continue question and asking session, okay?
Okay, sure.
Dr. Wass, I unmute your microphone, and if you have a few words, you may say it now.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Arkady, for welcoming me. And I am so pleased to be here with your university in Pakistan. I have very warm feelings for Pakistan because I was privileged to do a workshop for teachers twice for Pakistani teachers. And I was so thrilled to know that they are open to new methods of education. So I'm so happy to be with you. And I honor Dr. Arkady Zilberman's work because it is cutting edge to the brain research. And he is absolutely right. We do have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind that we can learn to use. Unfortunately, traditional education stresses the conscious mind only. So I invited Dr. Arkady to be part of my new book that will be coming out soon. Actually, 2 new books, and he is in one of them. And that one that he is in is called The Learning Revolution 2.0. And it is really about learning to learn, yes, and think and lead with the tools and the habits of and the competencies of self-learning. And that means self-empowerment. That means self-responsibility. So it's really what our Dr. Arkady is saying, where the person, the student, the learner is being coached by the teacher, guided by the teacher, but not direct teaching, pour the learning in and then spit it out on the test. That's the old way of teaching and learning, where the teachers have all the sweat and all the responsibility, and the joy is gone usually, so it's a big switch. It's an interrupt in education to give the pleasure of self-learning to the learners again. And so I invited Dr. Arkady to be part of my new book, The Learning Revolution 2.0. And actually there is a publisher in Pakistan that is interested. He has expressed an interest already in the smaller book that will be called Self-Learning Method, the Future of Education. And it is the future of education. Learning does not have to be difficult. We make it difficult in our schools, unfortunately. We make it because we try to shut down the unconscious and the subconscious mind. We don't want to acknowledge that it's there. So I really want to say I honor you, dear Pakistani teachers, and especially from your university, because you are the leaders. You are the leaders that can make a difference in the world. And so thank you for allowing me to be with you tonight. For me, it's evening and almost time for bed. And I know it is for Dr. Arkady as well. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be with you.